Something stirs within the shadows across Middle-earth. Eyes watch patiently with foul intent from hidden spaces. Mouths whisper from darkness to corrupt the minds of the just. Hands reach with greedy fingers from unwatched places to grasp for power and wealth. Who will raise their own light against the spread of this darkness? Who will stand against the unknown danger that creeps ever closer? To where shall we look for heroes?
Impatient to greet his old friend Glowin, who was expected on the Old Forest Road, Bilbo left Bjorn's hall to wander the approaches of Mirkwood. After raiding a bee's hive for an after-dinner snack, he continued onward, eyes scanning the path ahead for the face of his old friend. Bilbo was so eager to see Glowin that he lost track of time, and soon the light began to dim. With the setting sun, the sounds of the Wilderlands came alive, with the clicks, calls, and squawks of creatures more attuned to nocturnal activity. Too late, Bilbo noticed the impending shroud of darkness.
"Oh, my stars!"
He exclaimed.
"I seem to have gotten all turned around!"
Suddenly there was a snapping sound from the trees nearest Bilbo. He froze, staring at the tree nervously. But a soothing voice spoke softly from behind Bilbo.
"Greetings, friend of the elves."
Much to Bilbo's relief, it was Arwen of Rivendell, accompanied by a tall woodland elf.
I am Legolas, son of Thranduil, whom you know well.
I will gladly accept assistance from the elves.
It is fortunate that we found you, elf friend.
Neither the folk of Rivendell nor of Thranduil's hall shall fail you.
My old friend Glowin awaits me on the Old Forest Road. Will you kindly assist me in finding the trail?
You have certainly gotten yourself lost, little friend.
Hold fast. I fear we are not alone. We must find a path past these creatures. Foul creatures!
I have some healing art, should there be need.
We must weigh our options carefully.
We have friends in this forest.
goes unnoticed.
Just like old times.
For Rivendell! This forest is alive with vermin.
There.
You would die before your stroke fell.
To the defense of the many. Let us pause and consider our next step.
I shall tend to the wounded.
I'll do the stinging. Yeah!
A red sun rises!
There.
I bring news from Rivendell.
For Rivendell! For Rivendell!
Lazy lob! No. May the trees be my guide.
You would die before your stroke fell.
The old forest road is no longer safe. I must warn Glowin.
I sense something strange has befallen Mirkwood.
Legolas observed as silence descended upon the forest. Arwen agreed, adding,
Let us continue along the path, but remain vigilant should these creatures return.
Bilbo sensed something as well. An increasing feeling of being watched, of an unknown observer lurking nearby.
I feel the eyes of the forest on me.
He whispered. Arwen and Legolas glanced at each other in worry, for they had sensed this for some time now. Alas, before they could do anything about it, more spiders dropped from hidden webs above to attack.
More of the foul beasts descend!
Beware that creature. I mark it to be greater than its brethren. You would die before your stroke fell.
Lazy lob!
Tough! I ride for Gale!
Rises.
We have vanquished the beasts. Come, my friends. I see the path ahead.
For days, a strange pull had drawn the creature towards the forest's edge. Desire drove it on. The creature missed the cool air and precious darkness under stone. Yet for years it had roamed the wilderland, faithfully searching, hunting, craving. A nearby noise attracted its attention, and the creature slid through the branches to investigate. As it peered out of the trees onto a small trail, its ancient heart began to beat rapidly. For there it stood, the thief, the forever cursed. Finally, Baggins.
Having dispatched the spiders, Arwen and Legolas led Bilbo back to the Old Forest Road.
I thank you, my friends, for rescuing a lost old hobbit,
He said,
What's this talk of being lost?
called a voice from up the trail.
Glowing!
Bilbo cried with joy, for it was he at last.
Hello, my old friend.
Glowing gestured to the stout companion at his side.
This is my son, Gimli, who has traveled with me from the Lonely Mountain.
The younger dwarf nodded to Bilbo, but eyed the elves warily.
Well met.
Came his gruff response. Arwen nodded in respect to both dwarves.
With Bilbo in the charge of these strong companions, we shall take our leave. We have business elsewhere, and a meeting of our own to keep.
Bilbo was sad to see the elves go, as he much liked their presence. But he was eager to relive old tales over food and drink with Glowin at Bjorn's warm hearth. The elves departed silently into the woods, while Bilbo and the dwarves made down the forest path.
Oh, the trees of Mirkwood bring back memories of my younger days.
I'll be glad to join the feast at Bjorn's hall. I look forward to meeting Bjorn himself. Snakes block our path. Ugh, I thought this road was safe.
No longer, I'm afraid.
Stand back, you two.
We will face them together, old friend.
You will not harm my father and live, beast. Baruch Khazar!
I'll do the stinging.
The dwarves are upon you. Baruch Khazar!
My journeys bring me hither.
Well met, friend elf.
Good.
He looks more like a grocer than a burglar.
I'll do the stinging.
Yeah!
I depart for the west.
Good.
He looks more like a grocer than a burglar.
lazy lob!
I bring news from Rivendell.
The water's so clean to the weary.
creature hesitated. It would have struck without mercy, had not that filthy dwarf been with Baggins. The creature feared the strength of dwarves. Fortunately, it knew of a safer way to snare its prey, for the creature had made friends in the forest over the years. It had learned their chittering tongue, and they'd helped each other in dark deeds. Noiselessly, under shadowed boughs, the creature slid off to plead with the lady of the nearby brood. Tasty flesh it would offer her. For himself, the creature desired only a tiny thing. A trinket, the smallest of things.
Fair maiden, I come to you.
He looks more like a grocer than a burglar. Hammer and tongs!
Strike where the iron is hot!
Baruch Hazard!
Fighting shoulder to shoulder with dwarves brought a familiar stirring to Bilbo's heart. He paused, remembering times and companions who were now only a memory. He sighed, breaking his own reverie. Suddenly and silently, Arwen strode onto the path. Behind her was another elf who Bilbo had not met before. The way they appeared suddenly unnerved Bilbo, but if the dwarves had any reaction, they kept it to themselves.
Greetings, friends.
She said.
This is Rosiel of the Woodland Realm.
What happened to Legolas?
Asked Bilbo. Arwen smiled, nodding her head.
The forest path has become unsafe. He carries word of this back to the Elven King.
We must make our way to Bjorn's Hall
And report the same!
Glowin added.
Let us make haste.
Bilbo went to take up his pack, only to discover that it was missing.
Stars! I've misplaced my pack! And my sword as well! I must find them!
He fumbled subconsciously for the ring that he once wore around his neck, but was no longer there.
Bilbo's sting is a mighty weapon!
Glowin roared.
We must recover it. Let us search back along the trail.
Master Glowing is correct.
Arwen said, then paused to look from Bilbo to the dwarves.
And speed is of the utmost importance. But Rosiel knows these woods best, and she and I are blessed with the eyes of the elves. We will find the sword and pack.
I will not leave these woods without Sting!
Bilbo exclaimed in an urgent whisper, so as to not draw the attention of any nearby creatures.
And I will not abandon Bilbo.
Glowin added. Taken aback, Arwen offered a compromise.
Rosiel and I will take up this task with Bilbo, but brave dwarf, I request most humbly as Lady of Rivendell that you first carry word to Bjorn and then return.
Glowin grumbled to himself a moment. Though not pleased, he understood the import of her request.
I will do as you ask. Reluctantly.
Arwen bowed in thanks to the dwarves, and with Rossiel, made off with Bilbo.
I take comfort in your companionship, friend elves.
It is an honor to accompany the great Bilbo Baggins of the Shire. Let us hurry to find your lost blade, then return to the safety of Bjorn's Hall. The enemy is upon us.
For Rivendell! For Rivendell!
Shortcuts make delays, but inns make longer ones.
I'll do the stinging.
For Rivendell!
Sensing the imminent arrival of yet more spiders, Arwen stood closer to Bilbo. A clicking echoed in the darkness, indicating many legs and mandibles approaching. She worried that she and Rossiel could not alone provide the protection they had promised if they tarried much longer.
I fear that we may not locate your pack, friend Hobbit,
she whispered.
Perhaps it is time we retired to the safety of Bjorn's Hall for the night. We can resume our search tomorrow in the light of day.
Spiders closed in all around, some skittering along the leaf-strewn forest floor, while others dropped from the gnarled branches above. At the edge of their vision, a great spider menaced them, much larger than the rest. Was it directing the others? If so, for what purpose? Bilbo swallowed hard, feeling fear, despite the reassurance he felt from his companions.
I think you are correct.
He chuckled, a forced mirth he did not feel.
Let us depart this place presently.
Cloy! Beware at your service. These spiders are in a contentious mood.
Shortcuts make delays, but inns make longer ones.
For Rivendell!
My blade is at the ready.
Moria!
The enemy is upon us.
Now take a taste of my elvish blade. Sting! Lazy lob! Lazy lob!
For Rivendell!
The enemy is upon us.
Nothing passes unnoticed.
Those with the power for good are on the watch. Lazy lob!
For Rivendell!
Bilbo! No!
The onslaught of the spiders finally paused, but only for a moment, as they sought to regroup. In the confusion of the melee, the companions had become separated, though each was fully aware of the calamity of Bilbo's capture. The spiders seemed to coordinate their attack with a purpose, and the abduction of Bilbo was not mere happenstance. They must have wanted the aging hobbit for some purpose only they could understand. Dark as this event was, there was one glimmer of hope, in that they clearly wanted him alive, and that meant he could be rescued. If only the companions could gather again at Bjorn's Hall and then stage a rescue. But the lull in the battle was over, and the spiders were gathering once again in greater numbers. The first task was simply survival. Only then could a rescue be attempted.